Hi, hello, and howdy. My name is Erin of Essentially Erin, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be trying out a new product from Dyson. I'm not really sure if it's new or new to me because I know I've seen a few reviews buzzing about it online, but today we are going to try the comb attachment. Now, as you guys know, if you have been around here for a while, I do not strictly follow the curl and grow method, so I do blow dry my hair most days because it adds a lot of definition and shine for me, as well as shrinkage, which gives me a little bit more volume because my hair is fine. It likes to fall flat and lay flaccid against my head, which personally, I'm not a fan of. Like Mains by Mel says, the bigger the hair, the harder they stare. I grew up hearing, higher the hair, the closer to God. Doesn't really matter what you think, but volume, and body yaddy yaddy are two of my absolute favorite things with curly hair. So today we're going to try to achieve that using this comb attachment. So I am still also going to be using my diffuser attachment, so they're going to kind of work in tandem. Since we focus on the roots first, we're going to use this, and then we're going to use this for the body of the hair. Now I'm going to go ahead and style my hair. Today we are using the Aveda Be Curly line for their Style Prep and their Curl Enhancer Cream. And then I'm going to finish with the Curlsmith Flexi Jelly for my gel hold. And then we're gonna get started with diffusing. So let's jump in. Okay, so I am going to section off and style with my Denman today just because I want this style to last me as long as possible, and I find that I get a longer wash week and have to do less refreshes if I use a brush. Okay, so if you've been to my channel before, then you know that I love what I like to call a good split test. So a split test is where we kind of let the hair fall straight down the middle and we test two different theories on two different sides. So on side A, I'm going to use the comb attachment that we're testing out. On side B, I am going to use my root clips the same way that I would normally treat my hair, with hover diffusing over it with the root clips in, and we're gonna see which one gives us more volume. Okay, so I've never used this before, so let's get it out of the box. Ooh. Interesting. All right, so it's still a magnet like the other ones are. It looks like it's just gonna clip right in. There's still gonna be airflow that comes out of the top there, and then we're just gonna use this to kind of lift and pull away from the roots. Kind of feel like it's like my weapon, like, let's go. All right, so 2 seconds in, Definitely know that I cannot use my medium airflow and medium heat. It just has too much direct movement with this thing attached. So I'm going to knock it down, I'm gonna take it down a few pegs and see whether or not that keeps my hair from flying everywhere. Okay, so roots are pretty well dried on both sides. It was really interesting because it obviously puts the heat directly on your scalp. So that is something that you need to be very, very mindful of, obviously, with us trying to reduce the amount of heat damage on our hair. But overall, like obviously this side dried really fast. And I can already see that there's a little lift to it here, which is nice. So we're gonna go ahead and take out the root clips on this side and do the body of both sides. Let's go. So my hair is about 70% dry. I'm gonna let it air dry the rest of the way. First thoughts right now, I can already tell that there's more frizz on this side as far as like where I lost some definition versus this side. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. I'm eager to see what the end results look like. So like I said, I'm going to let my hair air dry for the rest of the afternoon. Probably gonna take a couple hours for it to get to 100% dry. Then we're gonna scrunch out the crunch and talk about the results. Okay, so it is fully dried. I have scrunched out the crunch using my favorite Verb Ghost Oil. Seriously, it's amazing. It's tied with Righteous Roots for my absolute favorite. Okay, so as you can see, I definitely have more root volume on this side. So you can see that there's definitely more lift over here. It's like, it's raised off of the scalp and it still frames my face in a really nice way. The caveat to that is that on the side that I used the root clips, I feel like it looks much more natural, like it's coming out of my hair. I still have really good definition close to the scalp. And over here, I feel like I lost a lot of that definition. So even just like running my hand over it, I can tell that I really don't have a curl until about right there. It's great up here at the front, but for the most part, when I'm drying my roots, I'm gonna focus on that thicker area of hair, which is gonna be back here. So while it did give me lift, I don't like that it necessarily doesn't look as natural as it does coming out of my scalp. So it's kind of like a pro and a con here because I still have really nice body and volume over here. This side definitely does hang flatter. So I would say that the attachment does what it says it's going to do. It definitely does aid in giving you volume. I think it just depends on whether or not you want something that looks like it falls naturally or something that looks like it's a little lifted and maybe is losing a little bit of definition. Overall though, I mean, the hair still looks really good. It just looks fuller on this side than it does on this side just because of the way that it hangs here. Now, I am not one to ever say that you need to buy something. So you do not need the Dyson hair attachment, especially because you can do the exact same thing with a pick. So you guys have probably seen me in other videos where I'm diffusing, where I lift my hair with a pick and I just go in and hover near it. Guess what? It does the exact same thing. And this doesn't cost you almost $40 like a Dyson pick does. However, if you want the convenience of having something attached to your hair dryer so you can have one hand free, why you need one hand free while you're blow drying, I'm not really sure. However, blow drying is exhausting and it's like, it should be an Olympic sport at this point for people that have natural hair. But if you don't want to be able, like if you don't want to have to hold something and hold your blow dry at the same time, then yeah, it's a good attachment. It does what it claims that it did. So it's definitely not something that I feel like had false advertising behind what it's capable of. But do I think that you could achieve similar results without having to pay for a $40 hair attachment on top of a $400 hair dryer? 100%. Whether that's through the means of using a pick while you blow dry or using something like the Diva Curl hand diffuser where it actually gets under your hair and separates. There are other ways to get volume in your hair that don't potentially result in lost definition and don't cost you an arm and a leg to get. So I plan on most likely returning the attachment. I like it. I don't love it enough to justify the cost, so it'll likely be going back to Sephora now that I've filmed my review for you guys. And again, I know I've said it before, but the whole reason why they have these return policies is for you to use them. If you buy something and it does not work for you, make sure that you are buying beauty products at places that have inclusive return policies. Trust me, you and your wallet will thank me for it later. In fact, I expected a speech at your wedding thanking me for this tip because trust me, it will save you time, money, and frustration. And that's it. So this is my review, my thoughts, my opinions, my vibes, all about the Dyson Pick hair attachment. Whether or not you should or should buy it, totally up to you. I just know for me personally, I got the Dyson hair dryer as a gift. I don't know if I could ever justify spending that amount of money on myself just because I am really weird about that. Like I wear the same clothes like every single day. So you guys see variety on the channel because I like throw a sweater over the same t-shirt that I've probably been wearing for a couple of days. But it's very hard for me to justify those means. Now, the Dyson hair dryer is 100% worth the cost. Definitely, hands down. If you have anything that's more than like this amount of hair, it will save you time on your blow drying. Like, hands down. It took me from like an hour to almost an hour and 15 minutes down to 11 to 17 minutes, depending on how wet my hair is. So the dryer itself is worth it. However, that doesn't mean that it's a justifiable purchase, but I can go into a full review of the Dyson hair dryer if you guys want in a separate video. If you guys like that idea, please tell me below. What you guys recommend is generally what I try to stick to. I love my hair. I love that even though it's fine, I have ways that I can get a little bit more lift and volume in it without necessarily sacrificing my hair. So for me, the hair pick attachment may or may not be worth it. I don't think it's something that I could really justify keeping if I can do the exact same thing with the pick and get very similar results. All right, and that's all for me here at Essentially Erin. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications if you'd like to hear whenever I come out with a new video. I try to drop one every week. Again, consistency is key with your hair, but maybe not the most consistent at making videos. I'm trying really hard for you guys, but bear with me, we're in the middle of a pandemic. And those are my thoughts on the Dyson hair pick attachment. If you guys have tried it and you love it and you think that I'm wrong, please let me know. I would love to know if there's a different way that I should be using that maybe would get me some similar results that don't lose that definition near the top. If you guys tried it and you also felt like you lost definition, let me know below. Like I've said before, at the end of the day, all of these things are just tools. They're tools to help enhance what's already there and to enhance the things that you already love. So remember that at the end of the day, no matter what tool you're using, as long as you love your hair and you're essentially being yourself, then that's all that matters.